And Brady says, "Thank you, sir." And then I said to him, "Hey, can I shake your hand? I want to wish you good luck in your football career." And he shakes my hand and says, "Thank you, sir." Um, Really nice young guy. Became one hell of a quarterback, didn't he? Anyway, unbelievable record, 35 and 13. Brady was 35 and 13 in the playoffs, appeared in the Super Bowl 10 times, and won 7 of them. I don't think those stats will ever be matched, certainly in my lifetime, and maybe never, maybe never. So those are some interesting stats from the NFL. What do you think, Jinxie? Yeah, I thought you'd enjoy those. Now, that's the end of story time today, Jinxie. Are you pretty much getting ready for training camp? Okay, remember you gotta be in great shape. Great shape. They're gonna work you hard. The coaches are gonna work you hard, and you're gonna sleep well at night, aren't you? Yeah, you are. And then, hey, August 13th. That is exactly 1 month from today. The first exhibition game at Cincinnati. You gonna be ready for it, Jinxie? Okay. You go back on your seat here, and we'll continue with the show. So I'm going to finish the show with my next three tortured moments for Lion fans, and these will be numbers 33, 32, and 31, going backwards. Number 33, December 31st. Nope, let's check that. October 29th, 1989. October 29th, 1989. I lost my place there. A loss to the Packers 23 to 10 in overtime. The Lions fumble in Green Bay territory, less than a minute left in the game. So that's not good, right? So Lion fans were tortured. We have the ball ready to go win, and we fumble in Green Bay territory. And then we throw an interception on the first play of overtime. Talk about torture. That's a pretty good example watching that game. And during that game, Barry Sanders had 30 rushes for 180 yards. So that's a good example of Lions being tortured, but at the same time, watching the amazing Barry Sanders run for almost 200 yards that game, even though we lost in overtime with the fumble at the end of the game and the interception in overtime. It's a perfect dichotomy of how we've gone back and forth and tortured. They're driving us nuts, but we love watching Barry Sanders. That's part of the addiction we have to the Lions and the NFL. One thing I forgot to mention, a few shows ago I talked about Barry Sanders, might have been the last show, his amazing positive records that still stand and will stand for a long time. One I left out is that he's the only running back in the history of the NFL that had two 80-yard plus rushing touchdowns in the same game. I remember that happened in Tampa. And that's pretty tough to do, to have two 80-yard rushing touchdowns. So yeah, we love Barry, and it was just an amazing, amazing time to watch him for the 10 years. Number 32, December 24th, 1989. Barry Sanders rushes for 158 yards and 3 touchdowns as the Lions win 31-24 over Atlanta. The story from this game is that he was out of the game in the fourth quarter, and the entire Lion team, including Fonts, was trying to get him to go back in because he only needed a few more yards to win the rushing title. And he just didn't want to go back in. He says, the title means nothing to me. That's who Barry Sanders was. I believe he ended up winning 3 rushing titles in his career, but that would have been his 4th, and it would have been something he would have done on 1 or 2 carries. But that's the kind of ego or lack of ego Barry Sanders had. He knew the game was in hand, that the Lions were going to win it. There was no reason to go out there and get the rushing title. I was very disappointed because I love it when Lions set positive records in the NFL or win a rushing title. I felt a bit deprived, just as I did when he retired in 1999. And my last one, number 31 tonight, in the total list, we're now up to 34, is December 31st, 1994, a loss to the Packers at Green Bay in the playoffs, and Barry Sanders ran for -1 yard on 13 carries. That was stunning. I'm not sure how Green Bay was able to stop Barry Sanders with -1 yard total for the game. But I sort of remember that game just thinking, how come Sanders can't get going? It was probably freezing, obviously, in Green Bay. And again, we are not a great cold weather team. This got me a little worried this year for our last two games, January 3rd at Chicago and January 10th at Green Bay. Those are going to be tough because it's going to be damn cold. Okay, Lion fans, thanks for your patience with me getting all my technology going. Please subscribe, like, and share the podcast if you like what you're seeing. And take a look at my great book that I've written, I Don't Believe It, We're Good, The New Detroit Lions. Until next time.